Hey, hey, y'all got me now? My wife just blowing me up. She's like, audio, audio. Nobody can hear. Okay, well, hey, welcome back. Okay, so that was a dry run. Can you hear now, babe? Can you hear now, Monica? Okay, you have audio now. Do you have audio now? Okay, no audio now. Okay, okay. How does audio now sound? Do you have audio now? Test, test, microphone test, test. Yes. Okay. Thank you, Corey. Sorry about that. Yo, I'm so sorry about that. That was me blabbing on for 5 minutes. I'm actually kind of good. I got away. Okay, good, Monica. Good. Thanks for letting me know. Everyone, it takes a village right now. Thank you all. All right. If you are welcome to, again, I guess I'll start over. All right. Welcome to Laid Off to Leveled Up. This is your guide, your action step guide to actually move forward and beyond whatever is going on today. So if you're one of the thousands who woke up or who might wake up without a job tomorrow, or if you've been affected by the layoffs, or you're just kind of curious on like, maybe you're on the shores thinking about the layoffs might impact you. This is really for you. All right. Whatever had happened to you, whatever happened to you, whether you got let go or you didn't get let go, that doesn't define you. The next hour is going to be how you can take control of your life, your destination, your mindset. That way, you're approaching every day in more of a positive, optimistic way with a strategy versus kind of scrambling what's going around. Because I understand what's going on with a lot of people out there and the feelings y'all have. But at the end of the day, that is okay. Today, we're going to go over the next hour. This is for you on how to actually get your mindset right. That way, you're not only you're communicating with people and building your networks out, which is probably the most key thing that you can do, but also you're not taking that to the house. You're not distributing that pessimism, that negative, why me, the whole victim mentality. As that's for you, babe. From me to you, the whole victim mentality as we navigate these waters. Your past, your previous roles do not define you on where you move forward today. So again, today it's all about mindset. It's all about skill sets that you can use and apply at the end of this conversation. But not only that, we're going to give you an action plan on how to actually be strategic with you finding your next role, whether it's industry or without the industry. All right. And again, I love tangents. I love going on tangents. And I'm going to dive into the presentation now. So if you have questions, if you have comments, please drop them in this. If I don't answer it, I'm going to come back to this and we'll bring it back up there. So again, I want to thank everyone for being here today. And this, again, whether this is for you, whether it's for someone that you know, I hope this provides some sort of clarity and maybe even just kind of the community of, hey, listen, you're not alone in this struggle, whatever that struggle is, whatever challenge you're faced with. And you know what? At the end of the day, we're going to be okay. All right. So let's kind of dive into this now. And again, I put this together as kind of a reminder for me to go. So again, I started off in the oil and gas industry about 20 years ago. I started off everyone sorting mail to working on rigs, to working HSC as a country manager in Saudi Arabia. And eventually I found myself about 3 years ago really kind of doing two things. But I think that this conversation is a great marrying of both these companies. The first one is Crew Club, where we bring people together to network, to exchange knowledge, to create opportunities through conversations. And that's exactly what y'all need to be doing out there when you're networking. And the second thing is Exec Crew, which is building people up. I work anywhere from C-suite sales teams to students on how to communicate more effectively, how to get your message across, how to have that resilient mindset. So when you are faced with challenges like this, of whether you find yourself out of a job or you're looking for your next role, how do we navigate through that in a healthy mindset that's productive? All right, let's dive in. 30,000 foot view, there's a lot of layoffs. And I don't know the numbers out there, but what I've seen was, look, 9,000 Chevron, 8,000 here, Marathon got gobbled up. There's a lot of different things going on. I would say the numbers for mass layoffs, and this is just the operator side, is probably around 21,000 people. So when this all shakes out, all the acquisitions that happened in 2024, now we're seeing the fallout from this, and that is these layoffs, that these redundancies. So right now, the reality is this: it sucks, but there's mass layoffs going on in the industry. All right, that's nothing that we can control. We're going to focus on what we can control during this hour of this hour-long conversation, or however long this conversation goes. All right. The second thing is roles and jobs are kind of gradually shifting over, and also some are kind of being taken over and replaced by automation and AI. Now, does this create new opportunities? Yes, it does. For example, my wife, she's kind of getting certified. She's getting certified in a lot of data analytics, not only is at her job, but she also understands that the future, not just in the oil and gas industry, but a lot of different industries, is automation. It is data. It's going through data and analyzing it. So hats off to everyone that kind of dives into that and leaning more into that. All right. And the reality is this: there's gonna be fewer opportunities. All these different layoffs. Let's say there's 21,000 people out there. There's gonna be a lot of people with the same skill sets that you have that can do the job probably better and cheaper than you. All right. And chances are there's probably not going to be that many jobs out there. That's the realities that we face right now today. Is that going to stop us? No. Is that going to deter us? No. Is that going to make us pessimistic and shy away and be scared to get out there and to seize our opportunities for the next role? Absolutely not. We're going to dive in today on what we can do. All right. So now let's take more of a personal look. Number one, I want to say this. We tie ourselves so much, so often about what we do. You ask someone, hey, what do you do? They're probably going to list their job, right? They're not going to list that their fathers, their husbands, that they're excellent bakers, or whatever they want to do. People attach their identity to their role. I'm going to say this right now. You are not your previous role. Whatever thing that you identify with for the past 10, 15 years, that is not who you are today, all right? Who you are today is a new opportunity to dive in on stuff that you dig, that you want to do, and that you want to become. So again, shed who you were before. Now it's a new day. It's a new opportunity to take on that perception, that perspective of who you are and believe it, okay? The second thing I will ask everyone out there who's tuning in right now, think about the skill sets that you've accumulated over the years. What skill sets do you have that you can transfer elsewhere? Right? And the reason why I'm saying this is because from that last slide, there's not going to be as much opportunities out there in the oil and gas industry. But what other industries does the skill sets you have can be transferable to, right? Is it project management? Is it leadership development? Is it accounting? Is it data analytics? Whatever it is, start doing some reflecting on, okay, well, what have I learned? What can I learn? I remember when I first started my career, I didn't think I had any transferable skill sets. That was just because of lack of, it was a blinder on my part. Start reviewing yourself, start thinking, and even ask your social circles, hey, where do you see kind of my strengths and weaknesses, where my skill sets go, and where do you see me potentially going, okay? And the third thing I ask for everyone out there is, if you have been affected by this, and it rips up your world. It's very tumultuous times, if you will. That's a great word, tumultuous. But it is a very difficult time right now, all right? But I'm asking everyone out there to reflect this way. Think about a challenge that you've dealt with in the past, or something that is extremely life-altering that you faced in the past, okay? Whether it's divorce, whether it's losing your job, whether it's whatever. Think about who you are today. You needed that trouble in your life. You needed those waves, you needed those obstacles for you to be the better person today. So whatever you go through in this life, you always come out knowing more about yourself, a little more resilient, a little more stronger. So this is an excellent time for you to think about it that way. Whatever you're going to go through right now, you're going to come out someone better, stronger, more resilient, and with more gratitude on where you're at, because you did this for yourself, okay? Let's dive into this. All right, I love starting this with quotes because it kind of frames everything up. Steve Jobs said, you can't connect the dots looking forward, you can only connect them looking backwards. How many times do we go through things in our lives we don't understand? Why me? Why is this happening to me? I don't understand what this goal is. I don't understand the plan about this. Think about that. We often go through this and we're in the moment. It's this struggle bus. It's this point of anxiety that's drawing us. Looking back, you're going to be able to see, okay, well, I needed that to get where I am today. But hey, listen, that being said, we all hold on to, what does that future look like? Where's my next paycheck coming from? What's this coming from? At the end of the day, these difficult times, these obstacles are going to make us better who we are. That's what I personally believe, and that's what you have to believe out there as well. All right. So the overview about today, layoffs are happening, but that doesn't define who you are, your value, or your career. We're going to go over mindset. What mindsets do we need to move forward? The second thing is, how do we navigate networking strategies and situations? And I'm going to tell you how to do a cold email or a message on LinkedIn, to actually how to open up. There might be a lot of introverts out there, and I think I'm actually growing up to be an introvert the more I sit around and talk to people. But we're going to go over actually kind of real easy ways to plug yourself in conversations when you hate going into rooms filled with thousands of people and you don't know anyone. All right, that's an awkward situation, but we're going to talk about actually how to get through that. All right, we're going to talk about brand positioning, personal branding, not brand positioning, personal branding on LinkedIn. on other social media platforms, on Collide? How do you showcase your value? How do you showcase your knowledge and your skill sets without saying, hey, I need a job. This is what I'm good at. We're going to talk about actually how to add value to the community and have people recognize you and pick you up. All right. We're going to talk about communication skills, how to deliver. This is the biggest skill set gap that I see in a lot of my coaching and a lot of my training is the communication gap skill set. Whether you say you're interested in a job, but does your body, tone, and pitch match your message? We're going to go into that. And then at the end, it's going to be your action plan. What are the steps that you need to do today? What action do you need to take on today personally to get to the results you want? And that goal, yes, that goal may be, hey, I'm going to land a job. I'm going to sell $10 million. I'm going to do this. That's an outcome of the goals. That's the outcome of the actions that you take. So we're going to focus on the actions that you can take to get that outcome that you want. All right. So the first thing that we're going to talk about is the mindset. Listen, it sucks getting let go. This whole situation sucks, but at the same time, either it happens to you or it happens for you. Either you're a victim in this situation or you're not a victim. You use this as kind of a leap pad of something where you can kind of go be better and brighter. I remember I had some career difficulties previously in my role, and I was thinking, what am I going to do now? Where am I going to go from here? You have to go through that to land where you are today. All right. It doesn't matter what it is. You're going to be okay. You're going to be stronger, brighter, and more resilient. It's how you tell yourself. And there's only two things that we can actually control. Number one, that's our mindset. That's how we wake up. That's how we view the day. That's how we view obstacles. All right. Are obstacles going to stop us, or are they going to motivate us to get through them? All right. So number one, you control your mindset and your thoughts. Okay. The second thing you control is your actions and behaviors. Okay. We're going to go over on all this stuff on how to actually. Okay. So first off, your mindset, whatever happened to you, you have to view this as an opportunity. You cannot be a victim in the situation. You can't view this, oh, woe is me, and sit there. Because what's going to happen is you're not going to go out with the right energy, with the right attitude, meeting people and connecting people in the right ways. All right. Walking out the door with the right attitude, with the right self-talk, which that's so important, is so crucial in this day and age. Because again, over 20,000 people left without their jobs. How are you going to walk out there with a positive attitude? The ability to connect with people. Not only that, where people want to work with you. They want to introduce you to other people. All right. Skills. What skill sets are you learning? What skill sets do you have in the past that you've accumulated that you can start talking to, that you can start diving into a little bit more? Again, I mentioned that my wife is getting her data analytics certificates. Is there something that you find interesting? Is there a gradual change in the industry where you can maybe dive into learning about something a little bit more? Again, automation, AI. Those are two huge buzzwords happening right now. Is there some time? Is there some courses that you can maybe spend learning something new to add to your resume? All right. Your network. This is something you can control. I always tell people, don't wait when you need a job to build your network. That is the last time to do it. You don't plant a garden when you're starving and hungry. You plant it when you have the time, energy, and resources. So whether you're starting off right now with a shallow networking pool or whether you have a large networking pool, that's fine. Today, we're going to build it out more strategically to get you. At the end of the day, this is all free to create opportunities for you. Okay. Whether it's opportunities for the next role, opportunities to connect with people, or just opportunities in general. Whether you take 10% of this conversation or 100% of this conversation, you will open up more opportunities if you apply certain steps that we're going to go through today. Okay. So reaching out to people strategically is important. Okay. So again, let's not panic. It's already here. Whether you have a job, you don't have a job, that's already here. We cannot panic. We have to be strategic. First step is controlling how we are viewing, how we're approaching each day. I often say we are the biggest critiques to ourselves. We wake up, think about this. It's 11:19 Central, CST right now. How many negative things did you say to yourself today versus how many positive things did you say to yourself? Think about that. And throughout the day, think about how often we're our own self-critiques. That hinders us from going out and meeting people. That hinders us from making that one extra call we can a day to potentially have that coffee with that person that we want to have a coffee with. Fear and how we talk to ourselves is going to limit our opportunities. So I say, be kind to yourself, be a little more, be a cheerleader for yourself. Speak highly of yourself. And once you catch yourself kind of slipping negatively, oh, why me? This sucks. I can't do anything about it. There's nothing out there. Stop that. Change your tone, change the conversation up in your head. If you don't, you're going to be screwed. All right, networking like a pro. I personally believe that 90% or 95% of jobs, your next job is going to be through your networks. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter how good you are technically. It doesn't matter how good you are at drilling a well. It doesn't matter how good you are at whatever. Your network is going to land you your next role. Think about your previous role. How did you land there? High probability it was by someone you knew. All right. So now, if you have a notebook in front of you, if you have a piece of paper in front of you, highly recommend that. Who can you reach out to? All right. So I personally think if you don't know where to go, how to build a network, start a network, I would say start off with people you already know, people that you might have worked with, people, previous mentors, or people that inspire you that you used to work with. Reach out to them and just say, hey, listen, and just let them know what's going on. Hey, listen, as you know, I have a job change. I got let go. I'm just kind of reaching out, just touching base with my networks. No one's be mad at that. It may feel awkward at first, but at the end of the day, who cares? Nobody cares if it's awkward. Only you care if it's awkward. Reach out to people. Connect with old colleagues. All right. Connect with old mentors. Let them know what's going on. They might have an idea of a new opportunity for you. Okay. They might have a better skills. Hey, JP, have you ever thought about moving in this role? My friend has this role. So reach out to mentors, reach out to old colleagues. Okay. Industry peers or other people going through this. All right. You can be a great sense of support, whether how you feel right now, you can always help lift somebody up. Okay. And if you can do that, that's definitely helping you along your journey. Okay, so reach out to people who may be experiencing the same situation you're at and just kind of let them know that you're there for them. Hey, listen, I'm there too. This sucks, but let's get this together. Okay, what are you hearing? Where are you going? Let's do it together. All right. Hiring managers, obviously, and recruiters and industry connections. So again, if you're networking, your job right now should be finding your next job. Okay, and that is through proper networking. That's proper conversations, and we're in that right now. All right, so start looking at what industry networking events are out there today that you start signing up for. What's out there this week that you can start signing up for? Okay, and when you are going to these, be strategic. All right, your goal isn't to get a job when you're going to these networking events. Your goal is to meet people. Okay, connect with them, listen to them. Okay. That's what networking is. Networking is not about that transaction. Nobody likes being sold to, okay? Whether you walk into a car dealership looking to buy a car, you don't want to be sold to. So again, when you go to these networking events, you're going there to connect with people, to meet people, see if you can maybe help them out in some way, add value, or maybe just learn about what's going on in the industry or how they got to their role, okay? So I always say, again, we look at, who do I network with and all that stuff. I always break it down to kind of a pie chart. Again, it's very gray areas. I would say 1/3 of your networking should be who you should be around. 1/3 should be who you should want to be around, and 1/3 who you need to be around. So if you have your notebook in front of you, what does that look like? Who should you be around? Who do you want to be around? Who do you need to be around? Well, you should probably be around people that are inspirational to you, that lift you up. Okay. A lot of times we get stuck in the same circle, the same support group, and they kind of keep us down. It's like an echo chamber of negativity. Okay. So you probably should be around people that you find inspiration from, people that may inspire you, motivate you during these tough times right now. Okay. So be around people that inspire you, that want to lift you up, that want to see you grow. And who do you want to be around? You probably want to be around whether it's people from the companies you want to work out, industry peers, hiring managers, recruiters. You probably want to be around these people who know where the jobs are. All right. And I say, if you're an operator, make connections with some service companies. Okay. Who has the finger on the pulse in the industry? Service companies do. Okay. So make connections. So you probably want to be around some service companies as well if you are an operator. Okay. And who do you need to be around? Again, this is your friends and family, this is recruiters, this is people at the companies you want to work for. So again, this isn't a scientific thing. This is just something that I use to kind of help me if I'm walking into a room. How do you actually navigate this? All right. So what do you say? Let's say you connect with someone on LinkedIn. Okay. If you're using LinkedIn out there, Collide, it doesn't matter what you're using. If you're connecting with someone out there, how do you connect with someone in a manner where they'll respond? Okay. First off, if they don't respond, don't take that personally. Okay. People's lives are extremely busy. People's time is stretched thin. It was some weird time shift we got after COVID. But if they don't respond to you, don't take it personally. The second thing is reach out with intention. Don't do a mass email. Put yourself in their shoes. How much time do you think they're going to give a message? So keep it short, keep it concise. All right. This is a simple prompt, hey, I'm kind of going through some new opportunities right now. If you hear anything, I'd love to connect and chat. Another thing you can do is reach out to someone if you haven't made a connection with them before and ask them about their career. You know, you have time now to have coffee. You have time now to meet with people, visit with them, and learn from them. Okay. Learn that knowledge, learn their experiences. It's obvious that you're looking for a job. I always tell these students, it's obviously you're at a career fair looking for a job. Don't be the person that's asking for a job. All right. So, again, when you're meeting with them, listen, ask active listening. Okay. All right. So, again, you're just trying to have a cup of coffee to learn about them. It's all about learning. It's all about asking questions. And when you are meeting with them, ask them questions. There's some science when people walk away from conversations, if they talk about themselves the majority of the conversation, they're like, wow, I really like that person a lot. So again, ask questions, ask about their career, and go from there. All right. Now, what about those awkward situations? Is there any introverts out there in the audience? Probably, right? So there's probably a lot of introverts out there in the audience, and you probably hate to go into these networking events. I totally get that. I dig it. When you walk into a room, you're supposed to go to a networking event. It might be week 3, you don't have a job. There's all these emotions kind of attached to it. I say stop. Number one, look at these networking events. It's a great place to learn something from people, but also it's a great excuse to get out of the house, to be part of this echo chamber, this cycle of the corporate world. So when you are going to these networking events and you do walk in a room and it's very awkward, totally understand that. I even think it's awkward. All right. How do you approach people? How do you approach a group of people without standing on the wall? All right. I always say just make it easy. All right. The first thing is you just walk up to people. Hey, listen, oh, that's not it. You say this. All right. You literally just walk up to people and say, hey, listen, I'm JP. It's my first time being here. I was just saying, I'm just looking to meet someone. All right. Literally, that's what you do at networking events. I guarantee you, if you have this awkward feeling about walking up to people, everyone else does too. Okay. So just address the elephant in the room. Hey, I'm JP. First time being here. Nice to meet you. All right. The second thing you can do, if there's a group of people, just go up to them. Say, listen, I'm kind of on the outside. You guys are talking about this. It sounds kind of interesting. I'm JP. Just want to introduce myself. Chances are people are going to bring you in and welcome you. I know it's awkward. Got to get past that hump. In this day, in this stage of your life, you cannot be tied to what's comfortable. You cannot be tied to what's worked for you in the past. You can't be tied to, I'm going to sit in my little box, what makes me comfortable. You have to get outside of your comfort zone and kind of live in that area for a little bit. You're going to grow, you're going to learn, and you're going to surprise yourself. I guarantee you that, okay? So again, just introduce yourself to these things. Have a follow-up. Get their card, okay? And when you're having these conversations, I always say do the 80-20 rule. Talk 20% work, 80% personal, okay? That's how you start learning about someone. That's how you start connecting with them. Your goal is to carry the conversation after the networking event, not have your conversation there. So again, ask questions, lean into them a little bit more. Ask them their perspective, their insights, their experience, their challenges. It's not about you. It's not about you. Once you start picking up on what they're interested in, whether it's smoking meat or boat hunting or whatever, baseball card collecting, whatever it is, you now have something you can reach out to them after. When you do reach out to them, this is the most important part. Follow up. Say, hey, listen, I know we were talking about AI in the oil field or automation. I just saw this really cool article. Send it to them. All right. Think about it. It's like sending memes to your friend, but you're sending points of interest that you had conversations about. Okay. So again, you're just pinging them, just pinging them, just pinging them. That's it. And eventually meet up for coffee. So the skills are going to set you apart, in my opinion. I mean, I always promote this because I think this is so crucial. We live in an age of correspondence. We're so good at corresponding. We're so good at emails, text messaging, memes, thumbing up messages, thumbing down messages. We are so good at corresponding, but how effective are we at communicating? If you think about anyone, actually, let me go back on a story. I was speaking at U of H, and there was this one company there, super major, that was there. And they said, yeah, we brought in all these people to interview, a lot of smart people. I love this. So there was first off, thanks for sharing. I wish I knew this LinkedIn user, but I'll go back and find it. But this person was saying, hey, at our company, there was all these smart engineers that applied on all this stuff. We hired someone because of her personality skills. She was able to go in there, connect with people, talk to people. Was she the best engineer with the best grades? No, but she was the most impressive. So again, your soft skills, your ability to talk to people, to be engaged with people, And that is just try active listening. Try working on this, whether you're at the line at HEB or a grocery store. Although my daughter doesn't like that, but try working on your soft skills, bring up a small conversation with people. And if you're stuck in the conversation of, hey, how's your day going? What do you do? And all that stuff, stay away from that. Be curious, be inquisitive to people. Ask them questions that you actually care about, okay? That's a great way to start a conversation. Just be curious, okay? Storytelling. Colin McClelland just did a great post with Digital Wildcatters. I think he's one of the best storytellers out there, all right? At this day and age, it's not data that drives the ball. It really is how you project your story, how you get your message across to your teams, to the hiring manager, to the recruiter, to the person you just met at that awkward conversation at that networking event. How do you tell your story and actually add your value, make people want to listen, that bring people in? Colin does a great job. Oh, no, don't want to update my software. Colin does a great job. And I think it's great because he starts off with this broad kind of, he sets the stage. Then he narrows it down, why it's important for the industry. And then he says why it's important for you. I kind of did that wrong. Why it's important for the industry, why it's important for you. So again, storytelling, so important in this, okay? Tech and digital fluency, obviously, there's a huge shift in automation, AI, whatever you can do to kind of learn up on that, even if it's through conversations or certificates, try it. Spend a little of your time learning the wave of the future because the future's here today, all right? Emotional intelligence, how to navigate workplace people, how to deal with people. Again, we live behind our screens, Zoom, there's a webinar right now. Are we interacting with people? Are we practicing our soft skills? Are we practicing our communication skills? And again, this is a skill set. It's like any skill set. You can learn it, you can practice it, and you can master it, whether it's small talk to anything. I don't care if you're an introvert, extrovert, you can work on your communication skills, your connection skills, all right? Your networks will continue to be more important than your technical knowledge. I always say, listen, if you're an engineer out there and you're bright, you're brilliant, you're 10 out of 10 engineer, but your communication skills are 3 out of 10, where is that going to stop you? Where do you think your limit is? It's probably down here. So work on your communication skills. All right. Speaking of communication skills, I'm going to go over this. I've done this elevator pitch a lot. So if you want to learn more, I think I did one on, I do a podcast called Lead with Soft Skills. I think I've done one on that, but if not, I'm just going to dive into this real quick. So this is one of those circumstances that a lot of people say, when do I need an elevator pitch? Think about that. Whether you're in line at HEB, whether you're riding the elevator up with a manager, whether you're trying to go on a date, you need an elevator pitch throughout life, okay? So it's probably best to figure one out and work on one and practice one. That way, when you are caught on the spot, you know how to deliver it. Just like all these soft skills, your networking, your communication skills, your elevator pitch, a lot of people think, oh, I'll just figure that out when I get to that road. I'll just use my I'll just focus on my network whenever I need it. Oh, I'll just figure out how to have a crucial conversation whenever it pops up. If you're not planning for it now, you're going to get left behind. You're going to have a bad time. Might as well practice this now to deliver later. That way you don't have to worry about it. I break down elevator pitches into 4 parts. Why 4 parts? Because it's structured. You have one part, the second part, third part, fourth. You get interrupted the third part, you know where to start over again. You know where to start in that third part. So this is a great way, whether you're in a crowd. So I originally, this is for students when they go into career fairs in this room of 1,000 people and they're trying to get their message across short and quick. You got to think of your elevator pitch like your TikTok reel. If it's boring, if it's about you, people are going to swipe up, not listen, tune out, okay? It's not listening to your resume. So whenever we're going into elevator pitch, think about this. Boom, introduction, your name, background, expertise. Hi, I'm JP Warren. I've been on the gas for 20 years, and I'm executive coach now. Boom, personal value add. What makes you unique? What do you dig? Were you on a drilling optimization team? Were you on a automated frac design team or whatever it is? What is your background or your expertise that makes you unique? This makes you special. Well, first off, you're all special out there. But what is it about your skill set that makes you special? All right, that you dig, that's your value. All right. Hey, my name's JP Warren. I'm an executive coach. I've been in the industry for 20 years, and I really love helping people because I'm so energetic. I'm able to connect with people just through my soft skills experience. Now, then you go to the third part, the organizational value add. Think about it as a puzzle. All right. You got your personal value add, and you have the organizational value add. How can you fit that into the organization? Hey, I was on this drilling optimization team, and I see your company's about to pick up 3 rigs in the West Texas area. Do you see some sort of connection between my background and the needs that your company will have in the future? So you're tying in your experience, your values, your kind of the things that you dig into maybe how that can help that organization. And the fourth part, I think, is probably the most important. Some people disagree. That's the call to action. Hey, I don't want to take up too much of your time. I really appreciate this. I'd love to meet you for coffee next week. All right. So again, the call to action, that's getting their contact information. That's setting up the next round of conversation. Again, you're not here to lay out your resume. You're not here to lay out all your experience and all this and all that. Blah, blah, blah. That's boring. Put yourself in the other person's shoes. Okay. Hit them with the good stuff. Hey, I can increase your sales. I can increase the performance on your sales team by 20% by just giving them a day of changing their mindset and providing some real skill sets. Let's talk about this if you're interested in that for your sales team. I'm not telling them how I'm doing it. I'm not going through the modules and go over anything like that. You leave enough to continue the conversation. Again, nailing your elevator pitch, 4 parts: the intro, personal value add, organizational value add, and call to action. And I'm going to put this recording on the Lead with Soft Skills podcast in case you missed this, in case you want to go back to it and review it. All right. Let's say you do get that interview. All right. Let's say you do nail the interview. How do you walk in there? How do you deliver your message? How do you set yourself apart from everyone else out there? There's a method in there that I like that I think it's the STAR method. It's taught a lot, and I think it's an easy way to set up the story. Okay. Just what we talked about storytelling. This is a great way to have storytelling in your interview. All right. The STAR method. All right. The STAR. The first one, the situation, right? That's Jersey Shore situation. You kind of paint the context. Give them the 30,000-foot overview, but don't make this too long. Don't make it too detailed. Just paint the picture, paint the setting. This is the opening scene. You're just trying to kind of give the viewer an idea on where they're at, what's going on. All right. Task. This is the challenge. This is what you were faced with accomplishing. Okay. You're challenged with this. This is the pan in. This is where it zooms in on that. You messing with whatever. I don't know why I'm going on this movie tangent, but anyway, this is the challenge that you're faced with, kind of what the obstacle that's in your path. Action. What did you do to circumvent this obstacle? What did you do to maneuver this obstacle, go over it, or kind of clear the obstacle from your path? And then are the results. Okay, so this is situation. This was the challenge. We did X, Y, and Z, and at the end we found out this. Whether that's a success story, whether it's not, whether the results gave you the intention that your actions wanted to, it doesn't matter. I'm pretty sure the results, you can always learn something about the process. So whether it's success, you can boast about that, or whether it was a failure, you can also talk about that, okay? Being human, being vulnerable, admitting where you maybe lack or lessons learned is a great show. For me, it's just being an individual, being human. I think people are able to connect with those people a little bit better, all right? Here's some tips I think that are extremely important. It sounds very obvious. However, this is the thing that I probably spend the most time working with groups with. All right, this is actually how you deliver your message, how you communicate. A lot of times, and I was guilty about this too, when I first started kind of giving public presentations, seminars, and speaking, I would try to memorize words. I would try to dial in on my message. Okay, well, if I say this, I have this statistic, and I go here, and I go this statistic. That's pretty boring. Nobody really listens to words. If you reflect on people that are inspirational, that bring people in, think about previous managers or previous leaders, whether it's the industry leaders or public figures. What do they have that brings people in? That's their charisma. That's how they talk to people. That's how they use their pitch and tone. Okay. So when we're talking, we live in a world of correspondence. We text, we email. That's only 7% with how we communicate. Think about that. Only 7% how we communicate. That's the majority of how we're talking these days. All right. That's why there's so many miscommunications in emails, text messages. How many times have you gotten in trouble, or someone has gotten mad at you over a text message? You're like, whoa, that was not the tone that I delivered. It was trying to be a joke. That is because there's no tone and pitch to the words. Okay. So tone and pitch, how you bring your voice up, how you bring it down, how you speak, how you use pauses. Do you slow down when you're telling your story? Personally, I'm trying to cram as much information in this webinar as I can. So that's why I'm speaking so rapidly. But if I was giving a presentation, where would I pause? What points would I draw out to deliver my message a little more deeper? So again, think about your tone and pitch. One thing that I always tell people is whenever you are talking, whenever we are insecure, we do have a lot of anxiety. We always go up at the end of our sentences, like, "Oh, I'd love to work at your company. I think it'd be great to work here. I'd be a great value add. Are you hiring?" Versus going down at the end of your sentences, give you a lot more confidence. It makes you sound a lot more assertive, and it makes you sound kind of like you're an expert in your field. "Hey, I'd love to work at this company. Do you see my previous experience adding value to your team?" So you sound more like a consultant versus someone who's asking, who's unsure of themselves. So again, practice how you speak. I know it's small. I know this may sound stupid, but again, the stuff that I see that's successful is these little tips and tricks. Body language. Where is your body language? Are you jittering, or do you have nervous energy that you're kind of trying to dispel? Are you shaking? Are you moving? Move with intent. All right. And before whether it's a networking event, or whether you're speaking in front of a group, or whether you're walking that interview, body language is so important. How you project yourself is how people are going to perceive you. So example, before I did this webinar, I was blasting, like, I think Rob Zombie in that room, and I was doing these exercises where I'd make myself bigger, slow my breath down, because I know I'm going to come across and because my adrenaline's behind me. So I'm going to talk faster. I'm going to breathe shorter, and I'm going to kind of get marble mouth because my brain's working too fast. That's when you have filler words. That's when you're going, and. So again, slow down. Visualize yourself having a successful networking event. Visualize yourself having a successful interview. And how would you walk in that room? How would you command presence? There's a quick story that I have when it comes to these three parts. I was called into there's a financial private equity company, and I really don't have much experience in the private equity world, but that's a world I want to kind of like learn about, understand a little bit more. And I was called for a meeting. On the lobby, I was going through all this imposter syndrome. What am I doing here? They don't want me here. Like, why am I even in this room? I have nothing to offer. These are people that are in a completely different realm. I started self-doubting myself, and I started negative talking to myself. Immediately, I caught myself. Excuse myself, went to the restroom, did these exercises, slowed down, changed how I talked to myself, how I spoke to myself. Wait a minute, they invited you here. You can do this. You are this person. The energy walking in that room was vastly different than it would have been if I kept the fear-based negative self-talk. So again, how you talk to yourself, how you position yourself, how you walk into a room confidently, slowly, moving with intent. All this is part of the puzzle. And listen, if you don't nail this the first time, that's quite okay. I still mess up at it. I still mess up at this, and that's okay. It's a skill set. You learn, you practice, you master. So again, start walking in uncomfortable situations. Start putting yourself out there where you do have to practice your body language. And let's say there's a group of you that did get let go at the same time. Can you meet up and have these supportive circles, have these supportive conversations where it's, hey, I'm going to give a presentation. Can we do a mock interview? How's my body language position? Am my hands folded? Are they nervous? Am I tapping too much? Practice, 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 practice. All right. So we got the in-person networking. We got the behind-the-scenes LinkedIn messaging. But how do you actually kind of showcase who you are on these social media platforms? Again, whether it's LinkedIn, X, Collide, whatever it is, how do you position yourself as knowing something about, I'm sorry, I'm just looking at well, I'm also live streaming elsewhere, but how do you actually showcase yourself and your skill sets in a way that people kind of engage with you, know what you're about before they even meet you? That's what's been so successful for my platform, is that I'm constantly putting out content out there, whether it's to help people, whether it's connecting people, or showcasing what we've done to maybe spread knowledge. Constantly doing that over time builds up a personal brand. And that's something that you can do. So what did you dig in about? What did you really enjoy about your past role? Okay. Was it the management side of things? Was it you got to deal with technology and integrate that into processes? Was it kind of the technical side of things? Was it the leadership side of things? Start reflecting about what you really enjoyed. Where were your biggest growth moments? And start just telling those stories. Start telling those stories on LinkedIn. People are like, oh, I'm going to post on Friday, or I'm going to post once on Monday. I say try to do 3 times a week. What books are you reading to further your understanding? What are you learning new that you never learned before that you can apply to your next role? So start telling your story, whether it's you getting laid off, whether it's you building yourself up now, whether it's connecting with people outside. Start telling your story, showcase this. You meet coffee with friends, Take a pic, friends, colleagues, take a picture, showcase that. People, it's a free way for people to connect with you and see who you are. All right. So again, okay, I mean, we're going over this. There's enough stuff about LinkedIn where you should probably know. Profile, headline, don't have some 2012 picture up. I know a lot of people do that. Don't have a 2012 picture up. Have an about section. Should you have open to work on? I personally say no, but I understand when and why people do. That's just me though. What else? I would say, yeah, engage with people. You see something interesting, engage with them. There's a lot of people that I've met, and I would never tell my daughter this, but there's a lot of people I've met online that I've learned from, that I've made real friendships from. I would say try to showcase that. Try to connect with people, engage, learn something. Honestly, it's such a free. There's all these free platforms out there to showcase your professional career. Start utilizing. Don't be timid. Just try stuff out. Okay. The best way to think about this is, if you're hesitant about putting stuff out there, you're hesitant to go network, you're hesitant to do this, think about this. Put yourself in a situation of, rather than can someone help me, how can I help them? If you can help one person with your content, hey, maybe someone else is struggling with that got let go. Maybe someone else wants to learn a little bit more about AI processes, and I know a little bit more about it. Maybe I can showcase them. If you can help one person out there, that's what matters. You're not there for the clicks. If you can help one person, that should be your mindset. That should be your goal. Change is hard at first, messy in the middle, and gorgeous at the end. Robin Sharma. I think that's an author in the UK. All right, here's your action plan. This is your takeaway, what you have to do today to move forward with the right mindset to get you fired up, okay? The first thing is get on LinkedIn, get on Collide, get on all these social media professional websites where you can connect with your community and start engaging with people. Start highlighting, test the waters out. Who cares? And honestly, I put stupid stuff out there all the time. But the best part is though, no one really remembers, no one really cares. Put stuff out there. Take a chance. Get uncomfortable. All right. The second thing is, this is your task. This is the stuff you can control. Reach out 3 to 5 people a day, just to say hello, just connect with them, just see if you maybe can book next week with a cup of coffee. Okay. 3 to 5 people per day. So you do the numbers, you do the math, it's about 15 people total for the week. That's your task. 25 people for the week. Oh my God. So anyway, if you're still watching right now, thank you. You got it. All right. The third thing is build your elevator pitch. Practice it. Practice in the mirror with confidence. The more you practice it, the easier it's going to be and the more natural it's going to be. That way you're not, I do this, I want to do this. You're not having the diarrhea of the mouth. All right. Have your elevator pitch tight, concise, ready to deliver that. All right. Storytelling for interviews. I don't have any stories. I never really thought of anything. Well, hey, you have all the time right now to start reflecting on your career. What incidents in your career can you learn from? Can you reflect from? Can you help other people out? Okay. Another thing is stay consistent and proactive. Don't take a day off. All right. People might not get back to you Mondays. People might not get to you Fridays. So it's Tuesday through Thursday, your time to really make some traction. Potentially try it out. Cannot lay off the gas pedal right now. All right. I know people that they see the light at the end of the tunnel. They're thinking, okay, well, once this happens, then I'm going to get out there. Then I'm going to network. Well, once that happens, it's been about 5-6 months. Okay. In that 5-6 months, there's been a lot of acquisitions. There's been a lot of people on the street. There's a lot of people that have been networking for that role that you need now. So again, don't wait, be proactive, get out there. Whether you think someone's going to help you or not, get out there and meet someone. You never know where that one introduction or that one connection can bring you. Hey, it could bring a really great friend or a life-changing opportunity. All right. Another thing is wake up every morning, set aside some time where you can set intent for your day. Far too often, we let the day control us versus us controlling the day. That happens. I find that happens to myself whenever I wake up and I hit the ground running versus wake up and actually just take some time, pause, reflect. What are my priorities today? How do I want to approach today? How do I want to feel throughout the day? And I notice that when I don't set my mind, when I don't take that 30 minutes to an hour by myself, I start getting very reactive and not proactive. All right. I start panicking. I start responding to tasks that pop up versus me control my priorities. So again, start your morning. Be a little kind to yourself. Okay. Surround yourself with people that lift you up, inspire you. And listen, just because you got fired, let go, fired, whatever, I'll call it whatever. Let's call a spade a spade. Just because you got let go does not define your value today and who you're going to be tomorrow. Okay. Can you showcase your value for a group? Can you approach a group? Say, hey, listen, I've been working on this. Do you mind if I get? How can you be creative about showcasing your value and your quality of work to different people? How can you be creative about that? Is that through a social media post? Is that actually going to a company saying, hey, listen, I'm willing to do this for whether it's for free or reduced hourly rate, whatever that is. How can you be creative right now about putting you first and showcasing your value? All right. Another thing that we can do is at the end of the day, reflect on that day. What went great? What didn't go good? Where can you improve throughout the day when it comes to networking and reaching out to people? And then what are we doing tomorrow? So again, it's a little bit of taking time, reflecting what worked, what didn't work, but it's also taking time and saying, okay, what can we do a little bit different tomorrow? Or this is the 3 to 5 things I need to do tomorrow. The rest is just gravy. Okay. So again, be intentional about your time, be intentional about your day. All right. Plan the networking events, start looking at different events. And honestly, because of this industry, because there's a lot of stuff going on in this industry right now, the jobs are not going to be there. They just won't. All right. So I don't know what method you want to choose. I would say try to half in, half out approach. Apply for 2 jobs in the industry, apply for 2 jobs outside the industry. Because at the end of the day, you never know. You might dig a different industry more. It might be more stable, might be a little more fun, might be a different group of people to meet. It might be kind of the place that you thrive and you really dig. So again, don't be stuck. Don't be married to your past on who you were, what you're trying to, what you thought you were going to be, in 2026. Today's a new day. Life is all about change. That's the only consistent thing in life is change, okay? Your networks will provide some sort of stability to a volatile market, but at the end of the day, you can control your mindset and beliefs. So how are you really going to look at this opportunity that's in front of you? And first off, view it as an opportunity, okay? And the second thing is your actions and beliefs. What are you going to do today? What do you have control over today to get the outcome that you want? Is that reaching out to people? Is that getting dressed up and going to a coffee place versus staying at the house being stuck in pajamas? I know I'm guilty of that. So what can you do today to get you out, to make you feel better about yourself and what's coming up? So again, at the end of the day, it sucks that it's going on, but at the same time, looking forward, this is going to be something we all look back on and saying that had to happen for me to be here today. All right. And that's what I truly wish for everyone out there. Whether you think, again, this goes to mindset, whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. So your future will directly be as a result on how you approach each day and how kind you are to yourself and how much you believe in yourself, okay? And how much you believe in yourself to be a little bit uncomfortable. All right, so again, you can contact me. There's my email. I have a podcast called, I have one called Energy Crew that kind of goes over the energy industry. But the other one is Lead with Soft Skills. And that kind of goes over more these soft skills, corporate communication skills, and all stuff that might help, might not. TikTok, I do a lot of stuff that kind of helps people, potentially help. I hope it helps people with their communication skills, and also Instagram, kind of same stuff. So anyway, I want to thank everyone out there. You got this. Everyone out there has this, and it sucks. But again, it's not going to be this. This doesn't define you. All right, this does not define you. I want to thank everyone out there, and if you have any questions or comments, I appreciate this. Let's see what Case said. Case, we got to catch up, by the way. Great suggestions. Reach out to people you're connected with, even if you don't think they'll remember you. Reach out with humility and always ask them to help them out also. 100%. Case, I think that's what makes you such a great contact to have, because every time we meet up, you're always asking how to help. And that's such a breath of great fresh air. I love tagging up. So we got to meet up. So again, I want to thank everyone out there. And if you have any questions, comments, reach out to me. I really enjoyed doing this. And if this helps someone out there, that's great. I'm going to put this on the Lead with Soft Skills podcast. So there might be other people out there who couldn't tune in on a Monday at 11 to have this conversation. So again, out there, be kind to yourself. Whatever happened to you is not your defining moment. It's just a chapter in your life, okay? Practice positive self-talk. You should see me sometimes in my car. I'm an idiot. Turn off the music, roll up the windows, and I'm talking to myself. You got this. You got this. I may look stupid, but it works, okay? And take action, okay? And just realize that this will pass, okay? This too shall pass. Thank you, everyone out there, and again, please connect with me if you have any questions, comments, or just need to vent. Let me know, and we'll talk to you soon.